Not really a quiz today, really. It's just more of a question. I kind of want to know, we're looking at a Brazilian right back today, and I want to know your opinion, who your favourite ever Brazilian right back was. I mean, there's so many really to pick from. You've got Cafu, who was around when I first started watching football. Then Dani Alves, the majority of his career I have been watching. Maicon was good for a couple of years until Gareth Bale ruined him. And then even as far back as like Carlos Alberto, maybe. There's some good corkers there. So which one's your favourite? Yes, welcome to the Omega Luke Gaming channel. Like I mentioned, today we're looking at a Brazilian right back who can also fill in centre midfield. We featured him on the channel very early on in the iteration of Football Manager 2021. However, it's about time we do a player spotlight on him because he is amazing. He has fantastic attributes at the start of the game. You can pick him up for less than £10 million. So if you're going to enjoy this video, you know you're going to enjoy it. Please drop a like on the video. That would be fantastic. Leave your comments down below on who your favourite Brazilian right back is ever. And of course, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. We're getting really close now to 15,000 subscribers. That's a nice little milestone. So the player we're looking at today is Gabriel Menino, a right back who can also play in centre midfield. You can find him at Palmeiras or SEP if your name fix also doesn't work and you've been playing around with that and the graphics all morning, even putting it in the updated version. Don't get me started. This is what he looks like. He has fantastic attributes. A lot of his attributes are fixed, including that determination of 16. So that's a very good determination. We're very happy with that. And everything else looks quite good. He's 19 years of age. He's worth £3.5 million. He has a release clause just domestically for a lot of money. So you're actually going to have to offer transfer fee without a minimum fee release clause. And they will accept 9.25 million, which is actually quite reasonable considering how good he is. He also has a fixed potential in this game of 159, so in my version, it will be exactly the same as your version. Behind the scenes, the attributes that are fixed are such as consistency and important matches, both at 12, so they're still quite a good number out of 20, that's not bad. However, all of his ambition, his professionalism, his loyalty, his adaptability, sportsmanship and temperament, all of those attributes are 0 and can be random. So for this simulation, we're going to set that ambition and professionalism quite high and see how he progresses throughout his career while we set him at 2 different clubs. And it's also at this time that I'm going to let you know I am streaming on Twitch quite regularly now. Twitch.tv/MegaLukeGaming. The Youth to Gold is well underway. We are only allowed to sign teenage viewers and we are not allowed to use players 30 or above. It's all about selling those youngsters for a profit. So we're 2 years into this simulation and we're going to kind of ignore how well the team actually does because Benfica, a team that's supposed to be winning the league, are finishing in 4th place, well off the other teams. So Gabriel Menino, here he is. We've got him playing at right back. It's 2 years into the future and he's playing quite well and he's progressing quite nicely. We can see he does have some cons, he does have some pros, one being that fairly consistent performer, 12, not too bad whatsoever. We've given him a decent ambition and professionalism. His personality is fairly determined. We've also given him some player traits of knocks ball past opponent and moves ball to the right before dribbling because he is right-footed. That's where he prefers. Let's take a look how he's been doing. Now, he has been playing really well. Now, we can see 6 goals, 9 assists, 7.26 average rating first season. And this season was even better with 8 goals, 10 assists and 4 player of the matches. Slow and steady progress so far. His mental attributes have had a big rise in a lot of different attributes we see here. Vision of 1, decisions of 1, anticipation of 2. The rest of it are slowly creeping up. They might have gone up 1. It's just not a full rounded 10 or 1 number that it's gone up, so it hasn't shown the 1 or 2. So that's fine. We're progressing nicely. He's good already. It doesn't need to be too fantastic straight from the off to be a good simulation. Last thing to note on this page is he's already worth £24.5 million. So if you did sign him for less than 10 million, you'd make a huge profit. Doubling your money, that's quick maths. Now, 2 years later, 2024 season, Benfica are doing better. Let's take a look at him then. Here he is, Gabriel Menino. What a year he has had. So he has progressed really well. Some mental attributes have increased vastly. Physicals are not quite there yet, but he's so well rounded it almost doesn't matter. He's progressing nicely. We still have that. He's £27 million now, estimated value. And look how well he's been doing. 8 goals again with 11 assists with a higher average rating just. This season though, 7 goals and 14 assists. A little bit of a better season there. He's actually played all of the games as well. He missed 3 games in the previous 3 seasons. Probably down to maybe an injury or a suspension. But there we go. So far, so good. Across the season though, he's had 25 assists and 15 goals. So, that's good. The tactic we are using him in, someone's bound to ask, is this, the 4-1-3-2 DM narrow the shield. I believe it's a Ryan Cassidy tactic. I think my simulator Jeff Gayton told me. But he is basically on a wing back on attack. He has no players in front of him, so he is on attack. He's doing that duty. He's doing it rather well. But 2 years later, we have moved him on to Arsenal in the Premier League. And again, ignoring where they are, that's sad for Jeff. He's an Arsenal fan. I bet he's fuming with that. Anyway, the highest average rating and most assists is Gabriel Menino. We have moved into Arsenal and he is dominating. Dominating is a bit much considering where they are in the league. But he's doing well for Arsenal. He's their best player. He's now worth £43 million as well. And we can start to see this world-class fullback coming into action. Why I think he's world-class is there isn't really a weakness that he has. He's kind of good at everything other than finishing, and we know really finishing, in my opinion, is one of the most redundant attributes in the game. It's all about the mentals if you're going to score a goal. Great anticipation, good decision making, of course determination was already there. Defensive position of 16, very good actually, and underrated for an attacking fullback. A lot of people ignore that. 16 vision, 15 passing, 15 tackling. So he's kind of got it all. He's good defensively and he's good going forward. His physical attributes kind of stay the same, but it's okay. We're good. We can work with this. We've also given him a couple more player traits as well. Knocks the ball past, marks opponents tightly, gets forward whenever possible. And we can see it's also really working because this season we moved into Arsenal for 2 seasons ago, 37.5 million. Scored 2 goals, got 5 assists. This season started to get a little bit better. 5 goals, 7 assists. 3 player of the matches in the Premier League. And is also at this point, he is almost at his highest peak of 159. So this is really where you're going to see him come into his own. And if you bought this player, you nurtured him, you gave him game time, and you had a decent player who had good ambition and professionalism, you should reach this point. And of course, that's the beauty of not having potential ranges. A fixed potential means everyone can enjoy a player this high. But the final part of this save, 2028, it's great for me because Man United have finished top, and it's terrible for Arsenal fans because Tottenham finished second. But what we are really caring about is Gabriel Menino, most assists and highest average rating. Here he is. Now, this is him set at his max, and I think he is fantastic. Like I mentioned time and time again, it's not really a weakness. He's kind of good at everything. And that's what I like most about this. If you are struggling in centre midfield, you can pop him there. You can place him in the deep line playmaker. He'll be fantastic as well. In that centre midfield role, even on a Mazzala on attack, he has the attributes to be really good. So there isn't really any weakness that he has. I really like that about him. The only bad thing, he can play a cam. It's not exactly recommended, but he can play a cam. However, you got to think when you play these players in these roles, and maybe that turns from a dark orange or almost a red to a green, that actually takes attribute points away from here. So what you will see here might not be anywhere near as good as what they are here or on your save if you didn't do that, because it takes attribute points away, getting them with better positional familiarity. I only knew that this year as well. However, look at his value, £64 million now at the age of 27. And he's been very consistent throughout the seasons, getting a lot of assists and a lot of goals. So we've got to be happy with that. Competitions-wise, they're not in anything. Well, they're not down in the Europa League, which isn't too bad. They actually won the Carabao Cup. Well done, Arsenal. You've won the Carabao Cup. But for what we consider to be a decent fullback, and we are still playing this role, by the way, I think he is quite fantastic. I really like him, especially for the price that he is. £9 million there or thereabouts. And that's just going to be your right back for the rest of your save, really. If you did a 10-year save, that's easily, you'd be 29. He's still got a couple of years left. If you manage to keep hold of him, that's your right back. Sorted, done, dusted. Can't argue with that. So what do you make of Gabriel Menino? I know a couple of you guys have mentioned him in the comments already when I did the last right back, Thomas Estevez. But I know a lot of you probably haven't heard of him and maybe are not using the Brazilian leagues to search for these players because they are a minefield of Wonderkids and hidden gems and cheaper players. You can get players around about the age of 24 who are in their peak, who are fantastic players, and you only have to pay like £20 million. One of them I featured last week, a striker. Insane striker. Take a look at that video. But there we go. What do you make of Gabriel Menino? If I was to rate this guy out of 5 stars, of course, his cost for what you're getting is a very good cost because he is already ready-made to play in any league, really, and he'll start progressing nicely. His attributes per position, yes, he's very well rounded. He can play in a number of different positions. You can fill in a number of different roles, attacking or defensive. So that is a huge yes from me. His return, his statistics, he's getting goals, he's getting assists. Obviously, it depends on what formation and whether you're utilising the fullbacks to their best of their ability and maybe they're not a core part of your attack. Then from our point of view, he was. So that's definitely a yes. He was getting involved in that. And the last thing, his value after, I mean, he was valued at £64 million at the age of 27. And we've made a huge profit. So we've got to be happy with that. Unfortunately, I just don't think he has that something special. I think if he had better physicals, if all of his physicals were almost green, and we had above 15 in a lot of them, then maybe, yes, he would be something special. Or if he was just banging in like 30 assists like Kakache did, then we would. But I don't think he has that something special. He certainly isn't the Cafu or Dani Alves of the past. Maybe he's a Mycon. Maybe he'll have a couple of good seasons and then get blown away by a young Welshman. I don't know. So thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you really enjoyed it. If you did, please show your appreciation by dropping a like on the video. It's free. It literally takes 2 seconds, but it really does help the channel out, and I really do appreciate it. And of course, subscribe if you haven't done so already. We're en route now to 15,000, and we're getting ever so close. Maybe I'll catch you in a live stream, twitch.tv/OmegaLukeGaming if you wish to come over and watch some Youth to Go. So many people are coming over now, and it's their first time, and they're writing to me saying, I'm finally catching you live. I see you, I remember you, and then you're coming back, and I'm enjoying it, so thank you very much. Hopefully, those numbers keep increasing. We got more and more of you from YouTube over onto Twitch, because it really is a fun time. See you soon for another video. Bye-bye.